Kunle Amosun, I represent Ogun Central. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, it gives me great pleasure to lead the debate on the Counterfeit Good Bill 2021. The bill was read for the first time in this chamber on 6 July 2021. This bill is a 26-clause legislative proposal. It clearly and directly provides for the prohibition of manufacturing, production, possession, and distribution of counterfeit goods. It simplifies the process of laying complaints by persons interested in protecting goods that are counterfeited and provides an enhanced enforcement capacity. The bill also provides for administration of criminal investigation and seeks to make prosecution a lot less cumbersome so as to provide effective control of counterfeit goods in the country. While the Customs Service is further empowered to check and control the imported counterfeit goods, the police is given the power to demand information for efficient crime prevention and prosecution. Counterfeit goods are unauthorized or illegally manufactured, reproduced, altered, or distributed goods. It is also associated with abuse of recognized intellectual property rights, such as trademark, patents, design, or copyright in goods. According to reports, products often counterfeited and pirated include currencies, apparel, consumer electronics, automotive parts, pharmaceutical, foods and drinks, and chemical, among others. Over the years, Nigeria has become a major destination for counterfeit and pirated goods. Nigeria has not only become a major consumer of cheap counterfeit goods, but also has become both target destination and significant transit route to other West African countries. The growing number of counterfeit goods in the country is a major threat and challenge for businesses, consumers, and the economy. In fact, it is difficult to put an exact value or loss occasioned by counterfeiting, as there are no accurate figures on the number of counterfeited goods, type of goods, or the volume of its sales. Indeed, it has been said that as long as there is a demand for a product and consumers are willing to buy it, there will always be counterfeiters selling the products. The existing legal framework, the Trademark Act, provides a legal proprietary right to owners of registered trademark. The only offenses provided under the Act are the offenses of falsification of registration of trademark, falsely representing trademark as registered, and restraints on use of arms in Nigeria. In a nutshell, the Trademark Act provides only a civil enforceable right to trademark infringement, and this has not helped in checking the criminal proliferation of pirated or counterfeit goods. On the other hand, distinguished colleagues, the Criminal Code Act provides for an offense of making or dealing in infringing copied of copyright works with a ridiculous punishment of a fine not exceeding 400 naira only, or 2 months imprisonment. However, the Criminal Code Act and even the Copyright Act are essentially concerned with literary or artistic works only, just as the above-mentioned laws are limited in their scope of application. The Counterfeit Fake Drugs and Unwholesome Processed Foods Miscellaneous Provision Act and the NAFDAC Act are equally restricted to the administration and prohibition of sale and distribution of counterfeit, adulterated, ban of fake substandard or expired drugs, or unwholesome processed foods. Another related law is the Standard Organization Act. While this act prohibits the manufacture and sale of items that does not comply with mandatory industrial standards, counterfeited goods are not captured within its strict definition. Bearing all this in mind, distinguished colleagues, it is clear that previous regulation response to counterfeit goods has likely been limited, restrictive, and weak in enforcement mechanism. Aside from the NAFDAC Act that seeks to protect public health, other counterfeit and pirated products may not necessarily cause any personal harm. Nonetheless, their proliferation may severely damage companies' profitability, innovation, and creativity, and brand value. For government, it may also cause loss of tax revenue. Recently, the Standard Organization of Nigeria sought to mandate importers and manufacturers to create a database of every product in the market. The idea is to ensure an effective prosecution of offenders of manufacturing and sale of substandard and counterfeit goods. The bill seeks to facilitate such prosecution. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, in conclusion, most road accidents in the country have been traced to counterfeit automobile parts, like fake and counterfeited brake pads, discs, tires, batteries, etc., while many household goods, like television sets, electrical and electronic gadgets, electronic cables, light bulbs, etc., are also being counterfeited on a daily basis, a development that this bill seeks to curtail. The Counterfeit Bill 2021 also seeks to introduce measures to further protect owners of trademarks against counterfeit of their goods, protect consumers from dangerous counterfeit goods, and ensure that appropriate revenue accrues to government from trademark owners of goods. I therefore urge, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, to support the second reading of this very important bill. Thank you. I so submit.
This very important bill. But before I say that, let me also say that it always gladdens my heart when I see the quality of bills that are always being put forth by legislators from Ogun State. And I think it just speaks to the quality of representation we have. Having said that, Mr. President, this bill is a bill that is very apt and appropriate today. I happen to be a member of the Committee on Industry, and it was only last week or so we were talking with the Standard Organization of Nigeria about the proliferation of counterfeit goods in the country. I think this kind of bill that will strengthen and criminalize the importation, the sale of counterfeit goods can only make our economy stronger, because there are a lot of companies and industries that are closing down due to the proliferation of all these counterfeit goods. But more importantly, I think we also have to bear in mind that apart from strengthening these laws, we just signed the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. And it behoves on us that we strengthen our own counterfeit act or law, so that Nigeria does not become a dumping ground for all kinds of counterfeit goods that are going to be brought into the country. I may also say that I think when we realize the amount of debts or sorrow that has occurred due to the counterfeit goods, whether it's medicine, whether it's brake pads, whether all kinds that has occurred in this country, I think it will be quite alarming for all of us to see the need and the importance of this bill. I think that this bill is quite apt. I think definitely we should all support it. I think it can only increase internal production once we've strengthened this bill, once we've strengthened our laws and we've stopped or minimized the amount of counterfeit goods that come into the country. That can only enhance internal production and thereby create jobs for our citizens. So I strongly support this bill, and I commend the sponsor of this bill. I so support. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
A bill for an act to introduce measures aimed against the trade in counterfeit goods so as to further protect owners of trademarks and copyright against unlawful application, and for other matters connected therewith. 2021 second reading taken, and the bill is referred to the Committee on Trade and Investments to report back within 4 weeks. Leader of the Senate.